Hi, second grade friends. Welcome to Distance Learning Week 6, Day 3, where we're still studying the country of Mexico. But before we study Mexico, let's get into some fluency practice. As you know, for the last 2 weeks, we've been working with the long O vowel digraphs, O-A, O-W, and O-E. This is why you see the picture of the boat, the bow, and the toe. Boat having the O-A spelling, B-O-A-T. Bow having O-W, and toe having O-E. So what they'd like for us to do today is to write a word on each line that completes the sentence. So you have a word bank in which I'll read the first row and then the second row. Toast, soap, mow, goes, crow, grow, toe, told, most, foam. And we have 10 sentences in which to place these words. I'm going to give you a few minutes, take a few minutes to look the sentences over and read them and see which word makes sense in the sentence. So I'm going to put my pause sign up so that you can put your tape or your video on pause while you work this out. Okay, I hope you've given yourself enough time, so let's go over the answers together. Number 1, I told my friend to wait for me after class. Number 2, what color are most trees? Number 3, Dad will mow the grass today. Number 4, Mom made eggs and toast. Number 5, there is a bar of soap on the sink. Number 6, a crow is a blackbird. Number 7, did you grow an inch taller? Number 8, I stubbed my toe on the step. Number 9, Joe goes to work at 9. Number 10, the soap made bubbles and foam. All right, on page 18, there are 5 spelling mistakes on the paragraph below. Circle the misspelled words. Write the words correctly on the lines below. So I'll read the paragraph, you read along with me, and then you find those 5 words that need to be spelled correctly. When I grow up, I want to play baseball like my brother. He goes to practice every day. He told me that he works hard to be a good player. He has never missed a game. Once he even played with a broken toe. What he loves most about baseball is that it helps him keep him in shape. All right, you take some time, pause your video, put your video on pause, give yourself a minute or two, work it out, we'll come back together. Okay, as you can see, I have the answers here for you. I hope you can read them. I tried writing this with a mouse on a screen, so it's a little crooked. Please forgive me. All right, it says when I grow up. Grow should be spelled G-R-O-W. That should be number 1. The next word that's misspelled is goes. Where you see it circled, it should be G-O-E-S, goes. Number 3, the next word that needs to be corrected is told, and that should be T-O-L-D. The 4th word is toe, but we want T-O-E, okay? T-O-W is like the tow truck, but we want T-O-E, toe. Number 5, most is M-O-S-T. How many did you get right? Good. Okay, so we've come to the part where we need to do a reread and a little annotating and a little answering of text-dependent questions today. I am not going to read this article to you again today. If you need it read out loud, it's in yesterday's video for day 2, but it is here if you need to look at it. You can look at it, but what we need to do is a little annotating, and I'm going to tell you how to do that in a moment. So before we do our reread, let's just kind of go over a couple of things that we're going to be looking for today. We'll be looking for keywords. We'll be making question marks wherever you have a question. If you have any notes that you need to take, you'll put it in your margin. That's how we annotate. They also want you to look for a little figurative language. So let's just go over what that means. Now, when we were talking about figurative language last week, we said that figurative language is when you say one thing, but you really mean another. Let's look at this little chart. It's an example or some examples of the different kinds of figurative language. So this first one with the bee at the top, she's as busy as a bee. Is a person a bee? No. But bees look very busy whenever we see them, right? So if someone says you're as busy as a bee, that means you really work hard. There are other types of figurative languages, metaphors, idioms, hyperbole, alliteration, onomatopoeia. I have a hard time saying that. But what we need to look at again this week is personification. And personification is when you take an object or an animal or something other than a person and give it the characteristics of a person. If you look at the example here under personification, you see 2 flowers, and they look like they really need water, right? So what the caption says is, the flowers begged for water. Now, do flowers beg? Can they talk? No, but they just look so dry until if you give it a personality, you would say it's begging for water. Figurative language. So we're going to look at a little figurative language and spot that today as well. So if you turn with me to page 19, it says day 3, second read. We're going to reread for comprehension and gathering information. And we're going to jump down to where it says activity. Where it says activity and across from it there's annotation key. So we're going to underline any figurative language we see. We just talked about that. We're going to put a box around words that describe the features of Mexico. We're going to circle any keywords or phrases that are confusing or unknown to you. You're going to put a question mark that shows questions that you have during your reading. You can write the question in the margin. So as you read, you're going to do these things. So you might want to take a few minutes to read the article. And I'll put my pause sign back up so that you can put your video on pause while you read. Okay, I hope you've done your reading and your annotating. So let's look down here where it says chunked text. We're still on page 19. There are 3 columns. Under the first column, it says chunked text. That means we just put a little of the text together. In the middle, you're going to have some text-dependent questions about what's in that chunked text. And then you're going to give us the evidence, what you found, in the third column. So, hopefully, as you read about Mexico, you found some landforms. So, where it says chunk text, I'll read a little of that. It says, Mexico is a large country in North America. It is a land of extremes. In the center of the country are high mountains and deep canyons. There are sweeping deserts in the north. In the south and east, there are thick rainforests. Now your text-dependent questions are this. Number 1, it says, a landform is a feature found on Earth that has been formed by natural forces. What are the different landform features found in Mexico? Right there in paragraph 1, you should have found mountain, canyons, deserts, and rainforests. And in that first paragraph, there was even figurative language. Sweeping deserts. Do deserts sweep? No. Figurative language, right? Okay. Okay, now you turn with me to page 20. There's some more text-dependent questions coming from some more chunked text. So I'll read at the top of page 20. It says, see paragraph 1 above. Mexico has many mountains. In the east is the Sierra Madre Oriental mountain range. In the west, there's the Sierra Madre Occidental range. Between them lie the deserts of the Central Plateau. These areas are full of valuable metals such as silver and copper. So what they want you to do here is reread paragraphs 1 and 2. And the question is, how does the article describe the climate conditions in the different areas found in Mexico? All right. Then at the bottom, it says see text above. So that means reread that. And then it says, what descriptive words does the author use to describe the mountains, canyons, deserts, and rainforests? So when they say what descriptive words, that means how do they describe the mountains? How do they describe the canyons? How do they describe the deserts? How do they describe the rainforest? So when you describe, you're giving an adjective. Adjectives and description, same thing. So how do they describe the mountains? They said high. The mountains are high. So I've given you one, but I want you to reread and come up with the rest of them. So you go ahead and put your video on pause and answer the question. Okay, now I want you to look at page 21 with me. It says at the top, you can use the following to help you get started. This text is mainly about. So what you're going to start thinking about is, what is this article on Mexico telling me about? Now, if you remember last week on Canada, Canada's article or Canada's poem was mainly about the unique and different features that make up the country of Canada. So you start thinking about what Canada has, and now you're reading about what Mexico has. So that second paragraph says, consider the 5 W's plus H. What, where, when, why, who, and how when completing your summary. You did the same thing last week. So it says, tomorrow you will use what you've learned from the text from today and last week to write the prompt, how do the texts describe the features of Canada and Mexico? So for today, you will keep that prompt in mind and write a summary only for this text about Mexico. So you think about the features of Mexico and the features of Canada and be prepared to write about it tomorrow. So see you tomorrow. Bye.